Be strong.
What's up, Jason? And welcome in, everybody, to Roster the People for Week 16. Can't believe we're already here. We're getting close.
You can't believe we're here? Seems like the longest year ever with all the injuries and nonsense that's been going on. Yikes.
Yeah, it's definitely been that way this year.
I can hear the disdain.
It's definitely been that way this year, just like last year, where it's just if there's an injury that could happen, it's happening. It's definitely part of it. It's not been great. Remember last year we were apologizing to people because it's like, if this is your first year, don't worry, it's not normally like this. Nah, it might just be like this now. But it's ugly. Are you excited about seeing Michael Penix?
I'm curious. I'm interested to see how it works out. I mean, I think that the opportunity is there more with the fact that seeing how Cousins has played, the release of how fast Penix is going to be able to throw the ball, I'm worried there's going to be a lot more drops because the players aren't used to the speed at which the ball is coming at them. But outside of that, I do think I think
it's more having someone that can actually run.
That
is going to be a thing to watch. Yeah, someone that can actually get out of the pocket, because Kirk Cousins at this point, we've seen that he can't run at all. Like he's a total statue back there. So it's definitely a challenge. It's definitely going to be different, but it is what it is at this point. It's weird. It's not good from an organizational standpoint. I'll say that. It looks real bad. It does not look good. All right. So Anthony wants to know. Yeah. Boy. Okay. Well, at least he's aware of the problem.
Come on, you want to do it.
What?
Go with Cooper Rush.
No.
Yes.
Ew.
Yes, you do. Don't lie to yourself. It's fine.
All right. Jason needs to go in timeout. We've just started, and Jason already has to go in timeout. Gonna be a long night, man. If I got to keep putting you in timeout that quickly, we're not starting in a good place. If I've already got to put you in timeout, no, I don't want to do any of those things. Boy, this is ugly. So your options are Geno, Richardson, or pick up either Penix or Rush. Could you not start a quarterback? Could we just take the 0? Might just take the 0. Hang on, I have to go flip this around. I was looking at something before we started, and let's see here. There we go. Okay. Let's see. Based on what you've told me, my options are. I have Richardson rated the highest of any of that, only because of the idea that maybe you get incredibly lucky and he runs into the end zone. But I'm not interested in Cooper Rush at any level, matchup aside. His best game was last week against terrible Carolina, and he still couldn't get 20 points. So
he has 2 games over 18 in 2 games under, I think it's 15 in the past 4 weeks.
If you want to take your life into your hands and recommend that, that's on you. But don't rope me into it because I'm not recommending that. I would rather just go ahead and put Richardson out there against what is also a terrible Tennessee team and just go with that. As bad as it is, just go with that. At least I could justify that at a certain point. There's no way I could justify rolling Cooper Rush out there. Neither one of us seems interested in Michael Penix's career first start, which I think.
I mean, I like the idea. It's just too risky, because we don't know what he is. We haven't seen it in his first NFL. Granted, love the matchup for him.
Yeah, it's really good matchup. I mean, it's about as good of a matchup as you could ask for your first ever start. I just don't know what it is. I don't know anything about this. I don't know if he's going to be able to run. I don't know if he's going to be able to complete passes. I don't know what his command of the offense is like. There's just way too many unknowns. Whereas I know what the rest of your choices are. They're all bad. But at least I can predict it. I have enough data to where I feel like I could pick between these things. And I would go with Richardson because at least I could, at some level, I could tell you what that's going to be. Playing against Tennessee, Tennessee's going to be starting Mason Rudolph, for God's sake. If they can't move the ball here, I have long-term questions about any of this. So this should be something where Richardson should be able to at least do something for you. It's going to be ugly. Don't watch it. But at least he should return some kind of number. Normally, I think people would just say play Geno Smith because you know what it is. I'm not playing questionable Geno Smith against Minnesota.
With questionable DK Metcalf.
Yeah, that's not happening. And no healthy running back.
Yeah.
Both running backs might play, but all of them are questionable. The whole Seahawks team is questionable except for JSN. So I know it's only Wednesday, but that's literally the practice report is
everybody's hurt.
We don't know. They're all hurt. So it's okay, so you don't even know who's starting at any of your skill positions at all or who your quarterback is. Great. Not doing that. Could you pick up Bo Nix? Is Bo Nix available? Is Drake May available? I'd rather either of those. If I could pick up Drake May, I would play Drake May. At least they're going to have to throw against Buffalo because they're going to be getting blown out the whole game. Okay, no was unequivocal. No was unequivocal, so that's good. If these are literally my only options, then I hold my nose and I play Anthony Richardson and I go.
Hope he finds the end zone.
Yeah, go find something to do during the day and don't watch it because it's going to be ugly as hell. But at least I know who's playing for the Colts. Pittman will be out there. There's a good chance they get Downs back this week. Taylor's playing. I know what it's going to be. And it's a good matchup against the horrible Tennessee defense, as we've discussed all year, especially Steve. So that's what it's going to be. Jason, do you want to tell him? You don't seem very excited about.
I mean, Richardson's fine.
About my recommendation here.
Richardson's fine. I struggle to trust it, even in a good matchup, because like you said, he could be the one to score it, but at the same time, maybe this is the one time that Taylor gets in the end zone with him. I mean, they aren't playing for anything. That's the one thing that is really boosting up Cooper Rush is that they're playing for something.
Yeah. At
least for me, that's the one thing I see. They're and he looks capable.
Bad.
He looks capable.
No,
he's not.
No, honey. No. He looks terrible. He looks like what I would look like if I played quarterback. It looks like crap.
If you throw it to CeeDee Lamb, it's amazing how well you'll do.
If you could actually do that. I'm also not. It's not a mystery to me that they've suddenly completely gone into fully running the ball as much as they can to limit Rush's opportunities because they're bad. So I'm not interested in rolling out Cooper Rush or anything like that. It sounds like that might be what you want to do. I have Anthony Richardson at 14. Where do you have Cooper Rush? I have Cooper Rush at 20. I think you could do better.
Oh yeah, for sure. I have Cooper Rush at 13, right behind Anthony Richardson.
Yeah, okay. So we're both going to probably recommend you play Richardson and hate it. And if you're a lot closer on Cooper Rush than me.
Well, the reason I like Rush is because they're chasing points.
Yeah, I don't care.
He's going to have to throw it more. I know that's not ideal, but it is a bad Buccaneers defense. Looked better last week. Yeah.
It is bad. I still don't trust it. I would rather just roll out Richardson and hold my nose and that because I can live with that. If I roll out Anthony Richardson, who I drafted, who I know is bad, I will look at myself in the mirror at the end of it and just say, okay, sucks to suck. Whereas if I get cute and play Cooper Rush and he puts up a 4, I'm not going to be very happy with myself in the semifinals. I'm going to live with that for a long time. It's not going to be pretty. Speaking of this, am I crazy to start Penix in the semifinals, or do I play Nix against? No, you're crazy. You're crazy.
Yeah, I'm playing Nix.
I'm playing Nix, even though it's a bad matchup. I have Nix at 12, largely because it is a bad matchup. But the problem is with that is that what the Chargers do well is stop the run and limit the run. That doesn't really apply to Bo Nix. I mean, it applies to him in the running sense. But I think, and this is another one where I know I don't like this so much because it's a little narrative-y, but Jason is correct in this case when both teams have something to very much play for. What handicaps it is it's Thursday night, which always favors the defenses, and it's a division game, which makes it really hard to predict what's going to happen. But at the end of the day, there's no universe where I could justify starting Penix in his first ever career start. I would just roll out Nix on Thursday night and hope for the best. That's what I would do. Because I could live with that. If that fails, I can live with it. If I go out and play Penix and he throws 3 interceptions in the first quarter and then gets benched, yeah, I'm not going to live with that so well. I'm going to be mad about that for a long time. This is where the time of year where we get to what can you live with? If you can live with the idea that you're going to play Michael Penix, knowing that this could fail spectacularly and cost you a semifinal game, then do it. But I would never do that. That's not something that I would recommend. It's not something that I would do because I know that I would look at myself in the mirror every day after that and be like, you're a moron. You're just a total moron. Like, just can't justify it. Can't do it. Can't do it. Wouldn't do it. So I think we agree on that one.
Yeah.
Nope. Depends on what my other options are, I guess.
For me, you might. Again, this is really based on you are swinging for fences.
Here you go.
Yeah, I think I would much rather play him.
Currently. Wow, we actually are going to agree on something. I would play Cooper Rush off this list. I hate it. Oh, it's disgusting. But I won't play Russell Wilson against Baltimore because that's the definition of playing with fire.
Especially without Pickens.
And I'm never going to play Michael Penix in his first ever career start in a playoff game that I need to win. And I'm not going to play Geno questionable all week and Cousins is off the table. So, yeah, we did it, C-Plank. You did it. You found the thing that I will tell you should play Cooper Rush. Can't Cooper Rush get you to the finals? I'm dubious. I am dubious. What's the rest of your team look like? I don't know. Maybe do you have John? Do you have James Conner? Do you have things like that? That's where it is. Boy, a lot of QB questions. I guess I should be surprised. DTR, Drew Lock, Mason Rudolph, Rattler, or JMO in the Superflex.
Oh,
yeah.
You going Williams?
I'm thinking about not playing a quarterback.
Well, that would be the only.
I'm thinking about do you have something that isn't a quarterback that might be more predictable? Oh, JMO, you're right. Yeah, JMO.
That's why I was asking. Are you going JMO? Because that's the only non-quarterback.
Oh, this is a real question.
I love breaking your brain.
I appreciate this is a real question. It's a real. This is like an actual question. Like, this is the real stuff. This isn't like a game. This is nuts. Like,
it's really close for me.
I got to look at my Superflex rankings. That's what the delay is here. I have Robinson 140. Okay, it's not going to be Drew Lock.
Nope.
It might be Rudolph.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
I
could
How's that make you feel, buddy?
Maybe justify Rattler if I absolutely had to, but
and those 14 MVS targets that are about to come.
No, I'm playing JMO. I literally have JMO rated the highest. So that's what we're doing. Playing JMO. That's what we're doing.
Yeah, it's really close.
If I had to pick a quarterback, it would be Rudolph.
Yes.
I've at least seen that enough to where I know what it is.
And it's against a
bad.
A bad defense. So there's defense. Opportunity here.
Yeah.
And again, potentially without a running back.
Yeah, they might be playing Tajay Spears.
So it will be a pass catching back the entire time, which means he could be throwing even more.
I will answer your question this way. If I am in a position where I think I am going to win this game and I am projected to win it and I feel confident, I'm playing JMO because I know what I'm getting. If I am projected to lose and I need to hit a home run, I'm going to put Mason Rudolph in there and hope for the best. And that's what we're going to do because Rudolph has, of your quarterback options, the highest ceiling and the lowest floor. But Jameson Williams has the highest, consistency factor. I know what I'm getting. And that's what it's going to be. And also, have you seen the Bears defense since Matt Eberflus was released? It's bad. So if I was in any way confident that I could win this game without playing one of these quarterbacks, I would play Jameson Williams. I have him rated the highest in my rankings for Superflex. And then if I felt like I needed upside and I felt like I was going to lose or I needed a real home run shot, it's Mason Rudolph. That's what it's going to be. And I feel dirty. I need a shower after this. Pod Son, I wish you luck, sir, and or ma'am. I'm assuming sir, based on the name. Happy holidays, Michael. McLaurin, Judy, Thielen. PPR.
I think it's Thielen.
I'm playing McLaurin.
I like McLaurin as well. It's just, again.
No, I have McLaurin as a top 12 play, so you ain't talking me off this.
Okay. I was at that same point until, again, I went back and looked, and his last matchup against the Eagles did not go as well.
Details.
I know.
Details. I'm not sitting the guy coming off 320s. Consecutive 20s. We're not doing that.
Are you talking about Thielen?
No, I'm talking about McLaurin. You can recommend Thielen all you want in your padded room. Apparently, they didn't come and pick you up after last week. And Thielen hasn't had 320s, sir.
I know.
He had an 8.
Last week was rough.
Yeah, he had an 8 last week, and he had a 15 the week prior. So
He had 10, 19, and 23.9.
If you want to talk about the other thing that I think might be attractive is just playing Judy, because Tillman is literally about to get put on IR, as far as I'm concerned. The man can't clear.
Except for it's DTR.
Yeah, that's the problem. It's DTR, and I don't trust DTR.
That's the problem.
I don't trust DTR. Whereas I've been playing McLaurin all year if I'm this guy, and I'm going to dance with who brung me, especially coming off 3 consecutive 20s. We're dancing with who brung me, and that's Terry. That's what it is, and I'm not debating this. It's a top 12 play. He's a back-end wide receiver 1, high-end wide receiver 2. I'm playing Scary Terry. Easy clap for me. No debating.
Yeah, let me see. So, because of his last matchup, I have him all the way down at 13.
Oh, shocking.
I know.
Oh, my God. 13?
Well, it makes me nervous because normally I would have him as a top 5 play.
I'm playing McLaurin. If you could make a cogent argument as to why not to play McLaurin, you go ahead and do so here, but I'm not entertaining it. I'm recommending Michael play McLaurin, and that this conversation is very easy, actually.
Yeah, it's McLaurin mostly. The one thing that I could actually see happening, though, is they bench DTR after he throws 3 picks in the first quarter.
Not counting on things like that. I refuse to count on things like that.
But it's literally I posted it in our Discord. If you haven't already, please, you should join that. But 1 in every 10 passes that DTR has thrown so far has been a pick.
Yeah, he's terrible. This isn't news. He was terrible last year too when they tried this experiment. He was terrible in the preseason when they tried this experiment. He was terrible when he came in relief when Watson got. He's always been terrible. We know who he is. Like, that's why I'm saying I'm playing McLaurin. This is not hard. Yeah. I'm not getting cute with this and trying to predict hypotheticals about people getting benched. That's never going to happen. I don't operate in that manner. You can do that if you want, but I'm not doing it. I'm going to tell people to play their stud, which is Terry McLaurin, because he's coming off 3 consecutive 20s, and he's literally part of the reason why you're even in this position to be playing this playoff game. And that's literally how I feel. So, and I haven't heard any cogent argument about why there was one of these other would be better. So we're moving on. play McLaurin, please. Please and thank you.
I just like poking the bear.
Got my finger over.
Oh, it's still button.
Daniels. Brooke Norris Daniels that I've played all year or love. I probably just play Daniels.
I know it's scary.
I have Daniels at 5. I have Love at 9. Love's matchup on paper is okay, but again, not as good as you think.
The issue for Love becomes Jacobs. Has been Jacobs. Will continue to be Jacobs. Because that man is stealing all the touchdowns, and it doesn't take him... Is it
stealing when you're just legitimately the best player on the team?
Yeah, I understand.
Is it stealing when you were the NFL rushing leader 2 years ago?
Well,
is it stealing when you've had a proven track record of success in the NFL for such a long period of time that they paid you a shitload of money, forgive my language, to come and be the RB1 for this team? Is it stealing? Or is it just getting what you're owed?
Yes, it is getting what you're owed, but
I'll show you stealing.
That's a big issue for Love. And will continue to be an issue for him as long as he's there, because he is extremely effective and is clearly the one piece of the offense that is consecutive and good.
Consistent.
He's very consistent.
You said consecutive. It'd be really hard for someone to be consecutive.
Okay, that's fair. I thought I said glad you caught that, because I would have never. I thought I said consistent. So.
I know what you meant.
Perfect.
But yeah, no, I would roll out Daniels again, and I know it's not a great matchup, but neither is the Love matchup really when you break it down, because of what Jason just said. Josh Jacobs is going to literally turn the Saints into his own personal sock puppet by the end of this game. It's going to be bad.
Here you go. Since the bye, Josh Jacobs has yet to score under 20 fantasy points.
Yeah. Josh Jacobs is going to be one of those things at the end of the year where we're going to talk about Josh Jacobs league winner. Like, Josh Jacobs is going to be one of those, like, repeating names you see on all the championship fantasy teams. Like, obviously it only takes one bad game, but there's going to be a theme with that. You know what I mean? Like, he's played that well. He's actually healthy. Who knew? He's actually healthy. He looks good. He's got the burst back. He looks like he did a couple years ago when he led the NFL in rushing. He's fast again. And then he got hurt, and then he was slowed down by the injury, and it takes time for people to heal from things like that, but he looks good now. And he, I think, easily is their best player. I don't think it's close. I think he's literally the best player on that team. I'm including defense in that. Yeah. Like, he is their number one player. Without him, if they still had Aaron Jones and like Aaron Jones got hurt again and no running game, we wouldn't be having this conversation.
Yeah, they'd be out of playoffs. They wouldn't care.
So, like, Jacobs is literally, he would be within his rights to ask for more money. And they're already paying him a crap load of money for a running back. And if I'm his agent,
I'm sure he has a bonus. It's close.
I'm sure there is, but like he is played so well that's like he's on that graphic they keep showing of him, Saquon, and Derrick Henry, where it's like, no, there's a reason these guys got paid all this money, and it's all those teams that paid those guys are all playoff teams. This is not an accident. This is not some sort of fluke. It is not an accident. There is a trend that is developing here. And then you go look at the teams that had those guys, and where are they now? Oh, the Raiders are flirting with the 1 pick. The Giants are also flirting with the 1 pick, and the Titans are flirting with a top 5 pick. And they're all terrible. And it's like, there's a reason. There's a reason that these guys got paid, and it's really working.
So Josh Jacobs, since the bye, is QB2. So
do you mean
week
RB2
11,
or are you trying to do one of those cross stats?
No, PPR.
You said
So
QB.
Oh, RB2. Sorry.
Thank you. Okay.
I was like,
I've seen people do that where it's like he would be the QB2. But I want to make sure what you're doing is what you're doing.
He would be.
He's the RB2 for sure. I know that.
He is a QB3.
Yeah. Okay.
He is the wide receiver 3.
Right. Yes. That's.
And then
he's
the
tight end
RB2.
1. He's the tight end 1 by a country mile. He's the wide receiver 3. He'd be the quarterback 3, and he's the second RB only because Saquon Barkley is on this insane heater that no man. What's that stupid Lord of the Rings line? No man can kill me. Like I am no man. Like that's the only way you're taking down Saquon Barkley. He is the Nazgul. Like it's talk amongst yourselves. I could do this for hours. Like I could literally do Lord of the
QB3.
Yeah.
Overall.
Yeah. So it's like that's what I mean when I say
player in fantasy.
At the end of the year, we're going to be talking about Josh Jacobs league winner potentially. Like the reason you won is because you had Josh Jacobs. Because he is literally going to pound the Saints into a fine powder. He's going to grind them into dust this weekend by himself. You ever seen those like pepper mills they have at restaurants? That's what he's going to put the Saints in. And he's just going to grind them up and you tell him when to say when. Because that's literally what I expect to watch. And I'm not talking about those small pepper mills for people's houses. I'm talking about the big one you see at those Italian restaurants that they got to like carry on their shoulder and like do this. Like, that's what's going to happen. There's going to be little pieces of the Saints everywhere, ground up into fine particulate matter. I feel bad for all the Saints fans out there because it didn't need to be like this. It didn't. Remember when the Saints were 2-0? Remember that? And they were blowing people out? Simpler time. And then the whole team systematically got injured throughout the year. It's not really the Saints' fault. Like, that division is terrible for a lot of reasons, but like, the Saints are terrible, not actually because of themselves. They are in that mode where it's like, it's just everything that they touch just disintegrates. And it's like the end of, it's like the end game. That's
ruining movies.
Oh yeah. You know what? If you haven't seen the end of Endgame, I'm sorry. You had 10 years.
Okay.
Do I play Judy or flex Dobbs? White, Otten is questionable, by the way, folks.
Yeah.
Our early reports. Or Cooper. PPR and playing a powerhouse. That's the kind of context I like, Scott. Thank you for adding that.
Yeah, that's very important information.
That actually helps us tremendously when people do that. I don't think enough people.
Because I think you have to go Judy if that's the case, unfortunately.
I also think you're going to have to play Judy. And I don't love it, but I think that's where you are.
Yeah. Now, especially with Tillman likely out.
Yes, that's part of it. I know it's DTR, and we just got done describing that, and that sucks. Normally, we wouldn't even have this conversation with you. It would literally be, Judy, you're crazy. Next question. We have to talk about this briefly. It is still Judy. I don't trust Dobbs to catch touchdowns like he was doing last week because I just genuinely don't think they're going to have to throw the ball.
Yeah, your next option would probably be White.
Yeah, White is what I wanted to talk about for a moment. If Bucky Irving is ruled out, I change my answer.
Yeah.
If Bucky Irving is officially not active for that game, I will play Rachaad White over Judy. That will occur. That's the one thing I want you to know. So you got to keep checking the practice reports. If Bucky Irving is playing, go ahead and just play Judy, hold your nose and do it, and hope that Jason's right and they bench DTR in the first quarter. That's what you're hoping for. Literally what you're hoping for. Next choice is White. If Irving is out and White's going to get the whole job, I ain't afraid of Sean Tucker.
Yeah, he scored 2 touchdowns the last time that Irving left the game.
Exactly. And that's the consistent thing is that the only reason White doesn't still have a stranglehold on this job is because, well, he was never the most efficient guy. And also Bucky Irving's just playing really well. You can't justify not playing Bucky Irving anymore at this point. We've seen the next level metrics. His missed tackle rate's insane. His yards after contact is insane. Bucky Irving's playing really well. I don't know what to tell people. Sucks for the Rachaad White people, but it's where we are. Like, White's like really good pass catching back. And if Bucky Irving's not playing, I would play White. So that's the one asterisk that I will give you. If this is I think easy. Yeah. Reed, Thielen, or Spears if Pollard doesn't go. If Pollard doesn't go, I'm playing Spears 100%. That's all.
And it's not close.
That's not even a debate. If Pollard does play, we saw what Spears will do. If we've seen it many times, if Pollard's out, Spears is like, I'm looking for 20. I'm looking for a 20 off that, and I'd call that a successful outing. That's pretty high for a guy who could barely get 8 when Pollard's playing. The other side of it is, what do you do outside of that?
Thielen.
Yeah.
I take my points because if Reed gets you 0.
Yeah.
I mean, when's the last time you had a good game?
Last week he had 12. I don't know what your bell bar is for a
That's
good
fine.
game. It's not 0.
Yeah. Yeah. So he had an 11, 0, 19, 5, 9.
Yeah, but I have Thielen 3 spots higher in my rankings anyway.
4,
so
5, 6 games below 10 fantasy points.
And those big games,
0.
You haven't got a nice big game from him in a while. I think it's probably been like 5 or 6 weeks actually, from memory. Yeah. I would play Thielen. I have Thielen 3 spots higher. So
especially without Leggett.
Yeah, very easy.
Potentially.
Rodney, this one's very easy. You're really hoping Pollard can't play.
Yeah.
And then if he can, then I'm going to play Thielen, and I don't love it because I'm looking for a 10 from Thielen as opposed to my 20 from Spears having the whole job. All right, Jason, this is like foreshadowing here a little bit, not to ruin the whole show, but here you go. Start Stafford or pick up Rodgers or Stroud or Russell Wilson. Gee, I wonder what Jason's going to pick.
I'm going to go with Stafford here. Really like the matchup. What?
Why is that?
I don't know. Probably since week 11, he's QB 12, averaging 18.3 fantasy points.
I'm trying to underhand it to you to do the thing, and you're just.
He's my start of the week.
Thank you. Now let's just do that part of the show. Why? There's a logical segue. Why is Matthew Stafford your start of the week at quarterback?
Yeah. So, like I said, 18.3 fantasy points since week 11, the return of Puka. Granted, last week was brutal. I understand that. But this is a game that could also potentially be a shootout, with Rodgers showing that he could actually play football last week again. The defense for the Rams.
I agree, but I'm not just saying you're wrong. Rude.
That backhanded compliment every time. But
it wasn't a compliment. It was just backhanded.
In any case, Rodgers is able to move the ball. Adams continues to want to show that he's a good player. If this
Adams
game
is trying to put out tape, my friends. Adams is trying to put out tape to get a real job.
To retire and wants to cement that he's going to be in the NFL Hall of Fame.
Oh, see, I think Adams has got one more year. I think he wants to win a title.
Okay.
I think Adams wants to get one more contract, even if they don't pay him a lot of money, so he can go play for a contender and try and win a title. That's what I think it is. He's done nothing but lose.
Yeah.
I think he's on that list of guys that's like they would like to win a title, please. Like, that's the one thing that's missing from his resume is winning something.
Yeah, and with like 4 weeks over 90 yards, I think that he should be very viable. And so it'll be the potential of this being a shootout, I'm not going to rule it out. However, they could also just throw it a ton with Puka and Kupp and Williams and just run the Jets out of town and put up a easy 30 points after not being able to score last week. Has to come back. I'm pretty sure that I'll double check, but Matthew Stafford, I think, is averaging over 250 yards and 2 touchdowns every game.
Last week was an anomaly. It was a division game on a Thursday. I put no stock into it. I'm playing Matthew Stafford. This is easy. Do not get cute with this. You are literally playing with fire. Start Stafford.
Everybody else.
Start Stafford. I'm good with it. That's what I would do. So we agree. Just play Stafford. He's not my start of the week, but Rodney, Goff or Mahomes?
It's Goff, baby. And it's not close.
I'm going to play Goff too. It looks like Mahomes is actually going to play.
He is.
Got that
2 full practices this week.
But I'm playing Goff.
I'm not going to play.
It's not actually. No, it's not actually close. So you're right. It's not actually close. Like it's
I have Goff, I think, in the top 5. So,
all right, Alyssis. That's actually an interesting one. Christy.
I love the name though.
Christy would like us to the 3 flex spots, but 1 flex spot QB. Oh, so it's a 2 QB league. Drake May, Cooper Rush. I'm assuming that's James Cook.
Yeah, because then it goes to the running back. So the first 3, it's either May or Rush.
Wait. This is just a list.
Yeah.
Are we building the lineup? Is that what we're doing here? Okay.
Yep. So break it down with me. May or Rush?
May.
Okay. I'm also in agreement. It's May. Then go 2 running backs: Cook, Henry, Mixon, Irving, Abdullah.
I'm gonna play. You can't bench Derrick Henry.
Correct.
It's not possible. And then I'm probably gonna play Joe Mixon because up until recently, Joe Mixon has been all world. I still have him at RB14. The 8 hurt last week, but outside of that, he's been crushing people.
So if Irving plays, he would be my second with Henry.
I'm looking at Irving. Yeah, I do have Irving rated at 13, but I'm very concerned about it.
I agree. I understand, but
very concerned about this. I was actually thinking about putting Irving in the flex to give myself more options, and that's kind of how I'm thinking about doing that.
Which again, that's fine. But I would have Henry and Irving pending health.
What about Cook? Where do you have Cook? I have Cook pretty high this week because he's playing the Patriots. And that's like the best matchup you can have as a running back.
I have him as my RB12.
Yeah, so that's my thing. Is like I've got him like right in that neighborhood too. So you've got 4 running backs that are all pretty good here.
Yeah. That is the issue. So we're likely going to throw one into a flex. That's what we're going to. So next, we're going to pick 2 wide receivers.
I'm going to play Henry and Mixon at the RBs because they're healthy.
Mixon's didn't practice today.
He's also 100. So, all right. Well, either way, then I'll pick 2 of your running backs. One of them's Derrick Henry, okay, and then the other one is either Cook or
Irving.
Mixon or Irving. So it's one of those 2. Cook, Mixon, Irving are the 3 that are
2
debatable.
2 wide receivers: Wilson, Evans, Downs, McConkey, Sutton, Ridley.
It would be Wilson and Evans, assuming I knew that they were healthy.
Which they both currently are.
Yeah,
I think
Evans
had a rest.
Evans is off the injury report, I believe.
Yeah, he had a veteran rest day. I'm pretty sure today, but
he's not listed as like a hamstring or anything.
No. So, and then 3 flex spots.
Yeah, which would be Sutton and Irving if he plays, and if he doesn't play, I'm playing Cook.
Ooh, okay.
I'm not really super interested in playing Ridley with a backup quarterback.
No, I was talking about McConkey.
McConkey is an interesting one. It depends on how you feel about Thursday night. I tend to fade Thursday night players.
That's fair. So
I don't love Patrick Surtain's probably not playing. You got that going for you, which is nice. But it's Thursday night in a division game. I don't love this.
Yeah. So that's fine. We can do Sutton.
I feel better about your running backs because they're really good.
Yeah. Play all your running backs except for Abdullah. And then throw in Sutton.
And honestly, I don't want to play a 2 QB for you because your options are Drake May and Cooper Rush. And I'm fine playing Drake May because I have to play 1 quarterback, but I'm not playing Cooper Rush over any of the stars. You have so many stars that you don't really need to get cute with a second quarterback here. I understand why people do that. It makes sense in a 2 QB league, but yeah, I would do what Jason's saying. I would play all my running backs, and if Irving gets ruled out, then you can look at McConkey or Sutton. You know what I mean? You have good backups even if that happens. It's because like you have 3 really solid running backs. You have 4 technically. One of them just beat up, and you have 2 really good receivers that I'm happy with. And then you have 2 decent wide receivers to fill in if they need to with Sutton and McConkey. So, pretty good team.
Yeah,
pretty good team.
You can tell why you're here.
Yeah, I can tell why you made it this far. It's a pretty good team. It's funny when you see somebody with a 2 QB league, that has bad quarterbacks, but then you see what else they have, and it's like, well, I mean,
they probably had good quarterbacks to start, but maybe they got injured.
Maybe
they had Dak.
Maybe they just got screwed in the auction or the draft at quarterback, and they were like, fine, I'm taking all the skill position players then, and you can't have any. Because I've done that before. And then people come to you in season like, I'll give you this quarterback, and I'm like, no. I don't
You
want
made your bed. You have to lie in it.
I'm going to the playoffs without it. I made this decision in August. You get nothing. You live with your problems. Hey, what's up, Glitchy? Glitchy's here. All right, Glitchy made the next round, so that's always good. Glitchy made the next round with DK Metcalf on his team. That's impressive. I know a lot of people that are pretty angry about that. All right. So we're picking 2. Myers, DK, Hall, Charbonnet, Allen, Reed.
It's going to be Myers for sure for me, because AOC looks like he's going to start.
I refuse to accept that as a nickname. I've explained my rationale. I absolutely categorically refuse to accept that as his nickname. You find something else. You can call him the Irishman. I don't care. Like,
I call him that because that's how I always see it, and so
that's fine. People can be wrong. They're wrong all the time. I deal with people every day. They're wrong about lots of things. They're wrong. In this instance, it's not a good nickname for him, for political reasons, and I'm not going to get into. Google it if you want to know what I'm talking about, and then don't at me because I'm not having this conversation on a football podcast. I'd say Hall is he's off the injury report, and he played last week, and he had double digits. And it's like, okay, well, I think I got to go with Hall. I think Hall has to be in there. And then it's a conversation. Then I agree. It becomes
an issue because if Charbonnet plays, I would go Charbonnet.
Walker plays, I don't want them.
Correct.
I don't want either.
Yeah.
Like, because who knows what that is at this point, considering
if Charbonnet plays and Walker's out, he'd be my second.
Yeah, and I would probably play Hall and Charbonnet if that was my case.
The only issue for Hall is that recently Davis has been taking the passing work from him.
It didn't matter last week, and I don't think it's going to matter this week. Like, he's still going to get you double digits, and you're still probably going to be fine with it. Jacoby Myers could get you double digits, but that's not a guarantee. Although I will say I'm not playing DK Metcalf again after what we just witnessed. I think DK needs to go spend some time in timeout, especially considering we don't even know. Gino's probably starting.
Yeah.
But I'm not interested in this. It's killed me many times.
DK also is dealing with a shoulder injury.
Yeah, right. So we'll come back to DK next year. But that problem ain't getting fixed between now and the fantasy championship. So for me, I could tell you how I would do this. I'm playing Hall realistically no matter what anyone says. That's happening.
Yeah, it's probably going to be
Hall. There's no way I could justify not doing it. And then it's a conversation where if Charbonnet is the only healthy running back again, well, then I'm playing Charbonnet and Hall. If Charbonnet is not the only healthy running back and Walker's back, well, then I'm not playing any Seahawks on this list. All the Seahawks go to the bench at that point. And then we get into the idea of Jaden Reed. Jaden Reed would be my break glass in case of emergency play if everybody got ruled out. You know what I mean? But in reality, I'm probably just going to play Hall and Jacoby Myers because that's the safe option. That's the safest choice.
Yeah.
That's where you go with your khaki pants. You put your khaki pants on and you play your possession receiver and you play your starting running back. DK, the inconsistency is too high. Charbonnet, we have to wait for more injury reports. Keenan Allen is like the ultimate crapshoot because you're screwing around with the Bears, who are terrible.
Hey, and he saw 14 targets last week.
Yeah, because he has to, because they don't have anything else. And then Jaden Reed is the ultimate dice roll. Jaden Reed is like early career Tyler Lockett. Could be a 40. Could be a 2. Could be anything in between. We don't know. Every week, you buys your ticket and you takes your chance. That's the Jaden Reed. So I don't know that I want to deal with that in my playoffs. So what I would do is play the two things that I know what it is. I'm looking for a 15 from Hall, and I'm looking for a 12 from Myers. And if I got a 15 from Myers, I'd call it gravy. Because I don't think Aiden O'Connell is good.
No, but the matchup works out in his favor.
Yeah, it does do that. But
that's the only reason I really am high on Myers is because, baby,
because you're pod committed and you've been talking about it all year and you can't backtrack on it now, you mean?
No, it's because he's playing the Jags and I don't even know where he is, but he's been very consistent.
I could tell you here.
Wide receiver 27, and he missed 2 games.
Yeah, he's the wide receiver 27. He's missed a couple games, and he's had terrible quarterback play all year. So we like Jacoby Myers. The issue is not Jacoby Myers.
I know.
No one is arguing about whether or not Jacoby Myers can play football. That's been proven for years. The issue is that Jacoby Myers has a habit of playing for the worst teams in existence. And that hurts him because that's been his whole career, is playing for bad teams who have no quarterback play or consistency or quality leadership or anything like that. So that's been his problem, and it continues to be his problem. And I don't see it getting better if he's staying with the Raiders. The Raiders seem incapable of making good decisions. So there is that. Probably going to get the 1 pick. It's going to be my favorite part of the draft. If the Raiders get the 1 pick, it will make my night.
Because they're going to Shadir?
They're gonna poop their pants and do something stupid, and it's gonna be really funny. Because they always poop their pants and do something stupid, Jason. It's every draft. How long have I been watching the draft? The answer to that is 30 years. How long have we been covering the draft? About 10. What do the Raiders do consistently when they have draft picks? Poop their pants and do something stupid for my amusement.
Pick the fastest player available.
Time. Or no, that is a recurring theme. But it's not always that. They usually do that. See, sometimes during the Gruden years, they would draft somebody 3 rounds ahead of ADP to play defense and then watch him fail and then bench him. Remember that? Because that happened more than once too. They always F this up, and it makes me chuckle. All the teams, though, that are looking at the 1 pick all have a track record of making terrible decisions. The Giants are there too, for my amusement. It's going to be a great night of the draft, that first night. You ever seen that? You ever seen that Simpsons meme of "Get ready, everybody, he's about to do something stupid"? And that's literally what's going to happen. It's going to be great. Like, I was joking with one of my friends who's a Saints fan, and I was like, "You're in great shape. Everybody in front of you is proven to be idiots." And it's like, it's great for you. Like, the Bears right now are picking at 9. And I'm like, that's awesome. Look at the 8 teams that are picking ahead. There'll be something there. There'll be something at 9 that we can take. It shouldn't even be that hard. It should be easy. I'm really looking forward to this draft already. It's shaping up. If you're in this for the comedy like I am in certain degrees, that draft has the chance to be very comical. It's going to be very funny. They're going to break Trey Wingo's little brain. His little brain's just going to be smoking, trying to figure out what these people are doing. Mel Kiper is just going to throw the papers up in the air and be like, why did I even bother? Anyway, Glitchy, the easy answer to this is play Jacoby Myers and then play Hall. But keep an eye on the practice reports for the Seahawks.
Yeah.
If there was some universe where it was just Charbonnet again, I would sit Myers and play Charbonnet. That's what I would do.
But it kind of looks like it's probably going to be Walker back.
It kind of looks like Walker's coming back, and it kind of looks like Charbonnet is going to play hurt, and it kind of looks like Geno Smith's going to play hurt, and it kind of looks like DK Metcalf's going to play hurt, and it looks like that whole team is just going to be a giant mash unit for this game, and I really want to avoid it if that's the case. I want to avoid all the Seahawks in what is not a good matchup. It's not a good game on either side. That game has the potential to be a real tire fire. So I really want to avoid that. And then Keenan Allen is the definition of playing with fire. So is Jayden Reed. Like, I'd like to avoid it. Take my points. Pollard, Taylor, Ford, or a Vegas RB. Pick 2. Pollard.
Pretty sure. Yeah, Pollard is a must if he plays. It's just, do we?
That's the question.
I currently, so if he plays, I currently have him at RB9.
Yeah, you're playing Pollard if he plays. This isn't a conversation. He's been too good. The question is everything after that.
I have Ford the next highest.
So I would play, and this is going to be controversial, but I would play Pollard and Ford.
Okay.
Because I don't want the Taylor mystery box in my playoffs. That being said, if Pollard is out, I'm playing Taylor and Ford. Or I'm going to try and pick up Tajay Spears if I can. But if I can't, then I'm going to play Taylor and Ford. I want no Vegas running back at all. I'm avoiding all of it like the plague.
I would pick up Madison.
Yeah, I'm not interested.
I would go.
No, thank you.
I have Madison over Taylor just again because of matchup, and I think that they could play with the lead with Aiden O'Connell since you don't like AOC. But I know.
No way. I am not playing any Vegas running back in my semifinals game. I would have to be really desperate to get to there. Whereas Ford, I think, will be fine.
Again,
I have Ford at 20.
It's not, yeah.
Like,
I have Ford at 13.
Yeah, Ford is fine. No one's arguing about Ford. It's literally, to me, a question of, is Pollard playing? Because if Pollard's playing, then I'm playing Pollard, and I'm just going to play Ford because I know what I'm getting. The variance on Taylor is too high. But if Pollard's sitting and I can't pick up Spears, then I'm going to play Taylor and Ford because I know what I'm getting, whereas I'm not touching Madison with a 50-foot clown pole.
Actually, you know what we do instead? Kendre Miller.
I thought about that. Kendre Miller is not the worst choice. I would rather play Kendre Miller.
Going to be out.
I would much rather play Kendre Miller over any Vegas running back. I'll tell you that much right now.
Yeah. I have him at 20, assuming Kamara's out.
Yeah, I have Kendre Miller at 28. I'll move him up a little. He won't get to 20, but I'll move him up a little. But I'd rather play Taylor and Ford over Kendre Miller just because I don't trust that. I don't fully trust it. Apparently, the person who had the problem with Kendre Miller was Dennis Allen.
You don't say.
So, that's all the reporting that I've read. So, but I feel like there's no way that I could justify playing Kendre Miller over either Ford or Taylor if Pollard sits and I couldn't get Spears. And if Pollard's playing, then I'm playing Pollard and Ford, and it's not a conversation.
Yeah. 2 top 15 running backs for sure.
The Eagles don't scare you after his dud.
The Eagles.
Hang on, I'll go back to this.
I was like, I mean, they had a rough game.
Does he mean that? Nope, that's the wrong guy. Does he mean this? Oh, the McLaurin thing? Oh, God, no. I ain't worried about that.
I brought it up because, again, I was like, I know he had a bad game. It's still relatively early, though. I think.
I'll worry about it. That's ancient history as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
I'm not worried about that. Can't live my life that way. If you're going to spend all your time worrying about theoreticals, about game, every time they replay these games, they never go the same. So I'm not worried about it. If they had Surtain, I could talk to you about a repeatable trend, but Surtain doesn't play for that team. So yeah, I don't worry about things like that for the most part. Okay. Juwan Johnson, Noah Gray, Calcaterra, or Chigakonkwo.
This is fun. I think I have a Okonkwo.
Oh, gross.
Yeah, I have a Okonkwo the highest.
Oh yeah, wow. I actually have Okonkwo the highest too, because that's not saying much. And there's very little pickups. So here's what I'll tell you. Of the options you've listed, I would play a Okonkwo Rudolph stack, just like you're talking about. That's what I would do. And if I could, I would go try to pick up Brenton Strange.
Yep.
And outside of that, I'd say, how do you feel about Stone Smart?
I still have Okonkwo higher, but yeah.
Yeah, I'd probably just go with the Okonkwo thing at that point. Just I'd say Okonkwo Rudolph stack. If I could pick up Brenton Strange, I would.
Yeah. Strange, I currently have as my tight end 8.
I'm at 12.
Yeah.
It's not a comment on him. It's not a comment on him. It's a comment on everything around him and the matchup.
It's somewhat a comment. Wait, on Okonkwo or Strange?
On Strange. I don't think he's actually that good, but he's in a decent position for this week.
Yeah, it's great because he's going to see a decent target share, and
they don't have anything else, and it's going to be Mac Jones with his noodle arm.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it works out great.
And it's a great matchup. So I'm saying it's not normally I wouldn't have Brenton Strange that high, is my point. But in this case, he's in a situation where it merits a decently long look at it. Hurts, Gibbs, Chase Brown, Puka. This is just bragging.
Yeah. So
yeah,
rude.
I'd say you're fine.
You might be okay. I think, yeah. You could probably change out your kicker, but
these are his flexes.
Yeah. But again, I think you might be able to. The thing I might change is your kicker.
These are
that'd be the one thing.
Yeah, I'd say you're fine. You have like multiple top 5 players, and I feel like you know that, and that this is just bragging a little bit. Because yeah, Hurts is a top 5. Gibbs has got to be in that neighborhood. Chase Brown's close. Puka's up there. He's not in the top 5. Nico's been good. Bowers is number 1, literally number 1. Yeah, you could change kickers if you wanted to. Bill's defense is fine. And then, yeah, I would pair that with Hall and then Myers. And if Walker gets ruled out and Charbonnet is going to play, then I just sit Myers and play that. And I'd say you're good. I'd say at that point you're good. If you don't win, I'd be really surprised. Judy or McConkey?
It's probably Judy, assuming Tillman remains out, which he should be. But I
have McConkey. Even on a Thursday, yeah. The DTR thing is terrifying.
I know.
DTR thing makes me so nervous that I'm even willing to play McConkey on a short week just to deal with it, just to be out of it.
Yeah, I have. Okay. Yeah, I have McConkey higher.
Yeah, I have McConkey at 20, especially with the news that Surtain's probably not playing this game. Not like he would have shadowed McConkey anyway, but just not even having him on the field more than likely makes
I have him at 18, and I have Judy at 31.
Yeah, I'm not playing Judy this week if I can avoid it. Certain people are not going to have choice in this, but Worthy, Harrison. Oh boy, we might actually be playing Keenan Allen.
Is Jalen McMillan available?
I'm just going to play Keenan Allen.
Of these options?
Yeah, 14 targets, and the Bears suck.
Allen.
I don't trust Marvin Harrison enough to want to be willing to do this.
No.
And I don't trust McMillan either. He's going to have to do more than 2 weeks to win my trust in this regard. Dustin, I'm playing Allen, and I hate it.
Yep, makes me feel dirty, but it's Allen. Again, see if Jalen McMillan's available.
I don't think I'm playing McMillan anyway. Jason might recommend that, but I'm not doing it.
I am 100% recommending that.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and I'm not doing that.
Because I have him right above McConkey.
Oh, God. Bought all the way in, huh?
I am.
Nico, good luck with that. I'm not recommending people play with Jalen McMillan in their playoffs. It seems like the definition of playing with fire. Now, if you want to have the conversation about Jalen McMillan for next season, okay. I'm willing to entertain this conversation because he is getting meaningful reps down the stretch here.
With Godwin likely not on the team next year.
Yeah, will serve him next year as the possible Godwin replacement. I am very interested in McMillan for next season.
Didn't you just say that Otten is also potentially beat up?
Yeah, Otten's hurt. He's questionable, so doesn't matter. I'm not.
You mean there's more targets available?
I'm not buying it. I'm not buying what you're selling, salesman. Not buying what you're selling. You take that crap on the road. Not interested. You can recommend that all you want. It's literally the mystery box as far as I'm concerned. It could be anything. It could even be a boat. Remember all those games where he didn't play all year? And then he's had 2 good games, and now everybody's like, I've always liked McMillan. Thanks, Internet. People who only remember the last thing they just saw, and have no context for anything. Yeah, you guys have fun. I'm gonna play Keenan Allen, and I'm gonna suck it up, because McMillan wasn't even on the list. You know what I mean? It's if he could pick it up. If.
Yeah, that's why I threw it out there. Is because if he is, that's who I'm playing.
All right. Well, you have fun with that.
Oh,
maybe you're right. You might be right. I mean, you might be right, but
and he's so funny thing is Evans has been moving into the slot and he's been playing outside.
I know.
I'm like,
if he can do what he's been doing, he's literally going to do what they wanted Chris Godwin to do.
Yeah,
and couldn't do last year. And I'm like, ain't that some bleep? Like, literally, all they wanted from Godwin was to do what he's doing, and Godwin couldn't do it. And then they get McMillan, and I'm like, well, bleep.
At the beginning, it didn't look like you could do it.
Yeah, and now it's like, well, this is all they ever wanted.
Yeah,
was to be able to have the flexibility to move Evans inside and have somebody who could play inside and outside. And I'm like, well, crap. If he could do that, McMillan will be on this team forever. Like, he'll never leave. That's all they ever wanted. Like, as long as his coaching staff is still. I'm sorry. Talk amongst yourselves. We've gone down this weird rabbit hole.
Sorry, I drove Neil off the rails, but
it's worth talking about because we're going to talk about this in the off season for a while. I'm sure it's going to come up. Like,
oh, for sure.
Allen, Collins, Nico. I like your team except for Cup.
Yeah, Cup's just a bit frustrating. So we're picking here?
No, this is just his team with the super flexes.
Oh, okay.
It's a good team. I can understand why you made it this far. McLaurin, Judy, half point, by the way. Oh, I'm just gonna play McLaurin. I'm not even.
You need another one though.
Oh, it is 2. Damn.
It's like, whoa, come back here.
I thought I was done reading.
Is it Judy or Ridley?
That there'd be no more reading. Hang on.
It's going to be McLaurin and Ridley for me.
I literally have Ridley 1 spot higher than Judy. I don't like any of it.
Yeah, I have him 4 spots higher. Judy and Harrison are back to back.
I might actually play Smith. Smith is actually somewhat attractive, given we know who his quarterback's gonna be.
I actually have Smith higher too. Dang.
Yeah, I'm gonna play Smith. I looked it up. I actually do have Smith at 25, and I have them the other 2 at 27 and 28, respectively. So I'm gonna play Smith by this much.
Yeah, I have Smith at 26, Ridley at 29.
Yeah, I'm playing Smith because I know who his quarterback is. McLaurin and Smith, Daniel. Everyone's upset. No one liked. Everyone hated that.
With out Goddard and Calcaterra being. Yeah,
everyone hated it, but I'm gonna play Smith.
God.
Yep.
I don't like it. However,
I would rather play Judy
normally.
I'd rather play Judy or Ridley normally, but I don't trust Mason Rudolph as far as I could throw him, and I don't trust DTR I trust DTR even less than that. And then Harrison has just been a nightmare all year, and I have him in the 30s, but I have Devonta Smith at 25 because I know who his quarterback is. In a game that I think will be competitive, and they're going to have to throw. So there you go. Yes, I am. I changed nothing, Pod.
Yep.
Are you concerned about Tyreek Hill at home versus the 49ers? You didn't even need to clarify the game. I'm just kind of generally concerned about Tyreek Hill at this point.
I would, in fact, be playing White if Irving is out. Yeah,
I have Tyreek Hill rated fairly high, but you have to be aware of the idea that Tyreek Hill is all over the road at this point. And not Otten. No way am I playing Otten here, Scott. Otten's off the table. Injury or no, he's off the table.
Yeah.
But I probably would if Irving could not play and I knew Rachaad White was going to get the whole job, I'd probably play Rachaad White over Tyreek Hill just because I know what I'm getting. Makes me feel dirty. Don't like it. But Tyreek Hill has been wildly inconsistent. And also he's been hurt all year. And is still hurt currently, which is not what I would like to see. Your opponent has Mixon. Are you picking up Pierce or Dare Agumbawale?
No.
Yeah, no is also
if you want to, if you're absolutely wanting to do that, I would go Dare, but
I would also potentially go Dare if I had no other choice, but I gotta believe you have some sort of choice. We talked about Kendre Miller. I would pick up Kendre Miller if I just needed to pick up a running back.
Because you don't want him falling into that either.
Second choice would be Ray Davis. I would also really consider picking up Ray Davis in a game where I think they are going to be obliterating the Patriots by halftime.
Can I interest you in a Ty Johnson again?
No. No, you can't.
Okay, I figured I'd ask.
I do like Ray Davis, though. I think Ray Davis has an actual shot at being the Buffalo Bills starting running back. Not this year. I mean,
okay,
in the future.
Yeah,
Ray Davis has actually been pretty good. He looks decent.
Yep.
So I would rather not waste a draft pick on that if I could get either Kendre Miller or Ray Davis on my team, because that's something that if I got slammed into some sort of emergency, I could actually justify playing those things. Whereas there is no universe where I'm going to play. I will let him have the Texans' backup running back against me. That's how little I think of it. I will let him have it to start against me.
Also, it's the Chiefs.
Yeah, which is not a good matchup. And also, they're probably going to be pounding the Texans in the face pretty aggressively. I think that's going to be the game plan. You say it's hard. It's hard to predict. I know.
Well,
neither team has been playing to their potential.
Yeah.
Kyren Williams. Oh Lord,
this is messy.
Yeah, this is tough. I'm assuming this is PPR because he doesn't specify. Well, I have Kyren Williams at 11 in PPR.
Kyren.
I have Brian Robinson down at like 22 because it's not a good matchup. Probably going to avoid that. I have Hall at 19. And if he gets off the injury report, I'll probably move him up a couple spots.
So for me, it's going to be Kyren and Spears if Pollard's out.
If Spears is, yeah, I'd do that too.
Okay.
If Pollard sits, I would play Kyren and Spears. And then let's assume I'm not really interested in Kendre Miller as a
he's lower than the rest of these.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and move on from that idea. And I would just play Hall. I would play Kyren and Hall. That's what I would do.
I have Hall at 17 and Robinson at 18.
Yeah.
So
you're picking between those two, but I'd probably just play Hall because I trust it more.
Yep. So Kyren and Hall.
And if Pollard sits, I will.
Oh yeah, it would be Spears over.
I would play
Hall.
Spears over any of that, or except for Kyren. I'd play Kyren Spears.
Yeah.
Oh boy, I have the Buffalo D really high. I have the Buffalo D at 4.
I have the Buffalo D at 5, but the Falcons are above them.
Oh, yards allowed don't matter.
Yeah.
Oh God, I'm playing the Falcons. I'm 100% playing the Falcons if that's the case.
Because I don't think the Giants score.
No, I'm 100% playing the Falcons. If I don't get penalized for yards given up, give me the Falcons. 100%.
Yeah.
What a weird way to score defenses. Yeah, if I don't get penalized for yards given up, just give me the Falcons. It's the only time I'll ever recommend playing the Falcons defense. Look at that. We got there. Top 3 for PPR.
It's going to be Flowers. Jesus, where the heck do I have Flowers?
I have Flowers at 22.
I am at 23.
Yeah, I hate to tell you, buddy, but Tillman
McMillan.
ain't
playing. Huh?
I was talking to this guy. I hate to tell you, but Tillman ain't playing.
Yeah.
And even if he did, I don't trust it anymore. So see you next year, Tillman. That's kind of where we are. A lot of this is pretty close. I'm playing Flowers.
It's Flowers and McMillan for sure for me. And then it goes to Downs. Mostly because not sure Pittman plays.
Okay,
his back's flaring up again.
He's probably going to play. He's been playing through it all year. My thing is this. I think that's immaterial. I'm going to play Flowers, McMillan, and Downs anyway.
Okay.
Because the rest of the list gets ruled out. Tillman's not playing. Odunze's a nightmare. And I don't trust MVS, which has been well documented.
Yeah.
So we would arrive at the same conclusion just from different ways. I'm going to play Flowers is at least done enough to where I can kind of expect something. McMillan's been
more likely going to fall in the end zone.
McMillan's been hot for the last 2 games. At least you could say that. And Downs is Anthony Richardson's favorite target when he's out there. So at least I can justify it.
Yep.
McMillan, Coleman, Mooney, Downs, and Tillman.
I think it's still Downs. We'll check where Coleman's at.
Coleman, I think, was coming off the injury report finally.
Well, he played last week.
I'm not playing Coleman. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And I'm not playing Mooney after what he just did to you.
Nope.
Especially with a new quarterback.
Yeah, because all of his stuff was timing related.
Okay, I'm going to play Downs at McMillan.
Yep, makes it easy.
Yep. And if Downs can't play for whatever reason, then I'll play Coleman.
Agree.
Yeah.
Makes it easy.
Not that hard. Pick 3. Oh god, this gets into like all kinds of injury report crap.
Yep.
There's so much injury report crap in here. Daniel, I can't answer this question on a Wednesday. You need more practice reports because
you're starting Ford and Garendo.
Yeah, probably.
But Garendo's also dealing with.
I'm probably gonna play B-Rob and Ford because they're not hurt, and the rest of it is just a mash of injuries.
Yep.
I don't really want to play Jonathan Taylor if I could avoid it, but you might be forced into that. I need more data. I need injury reports. You really can't make this decision until Friday.
Yeah, because I'm definitely right now. I'm going to go Garendo, Ford, Brian Robinson because I think all 3 of those are going to play.
I'm going to play B-Rob and Ford, and then whoever isn't hurt. Like that's kind of what it is. Like because Charbonnet, we don't know. We don't know if he's going to be healthy, and we don't know what Walker's status is. Kamara, we don't know if he's playing. He may or may not be. And if he is, then how much do you want to trust Kendre Miller? Ford, I know, is playing, and he's starting. Robinson is playing, and he's starting. Garendo's hurt. Jonathan Taylor is being crushed by his own team. Miller is a huge dice roll. That could be anything. Like that could even be a boat. So I think what you're hoping for is that Kamara is healthy enough to play and that Charbonnet is the only healthy running back in Seattle for the 3rd week in a row.
Yeah. And then you can
I think that's what you're really rooting
for
in
those
here.
2.
Because then you're going to play the top 3. You know what I mean? You'll just play Kamara, B-Rob, and Charbonnet at that point and just be done. But I would imagine that one of those people is probably going to get ruled out.
You play Ford, not B-Rob.
Well,
I guess. I'm assuming that's Brian Robinson.
I would imagine.
Okay. Well, it could be Bijan. I don't know.
Yeah, but those people don't use that acronym for him. They just call him Bijan.
I know. I'm just throwing it out because it is Bijan, then it is definitely the top 3.
Well,
I would go Ford over Ford. It'd be Ford, Charbonnet, and Kamara if everybody's healthy there.
Yeah. Daniel, ask this question later in the week because I'm going to tell you, you're going to get a different answer today than you're going to get on Friday because we just don't have enough proper injury reports. We just got initial practice reports today, and it's not enough data to make decisions yet. I need at least 1 to 2 more days of practice reports before I'm going to give you an answer that I'm confident in. PPR need 2. Garrett Wilson, DJ Moore, Miller, if no Kamara, Shakir, or Calvin Ridley.
Wilson, Shakir.
Probably Wilson for sure.
I have Wilson at 16. I have Shakir at 30. But he's back to back with Ridley.
Yeah. See, normally I would say you just probably want to play DJ Moore, but DJ Moore has been killing you. And he looks like he's just done. Like, he looks like he just doesn't want to do it anymore. Like, I see how he's running, and I'm like, this is not the running of a man that cares about his team. So, yeah, I'm going to play Wilson and Shakir. Don't love it. That's what I would do. Ridley is crushed by his backup quarterback. Miller, we don't really have enough data for me to give you a straight-up answer. And DJ Moore looks like he's this close to just shutting it down for the year. Because they've been eliminated from the playoffs, and DJ Moore just doesn't look like he cares anymore. He looks like he's just fed up with the whole situation and just doesn't care. Plus, he's got his money. So, pick 2, McLaurin, Wilson, JSN.
McLaurin, Wilson.
Where do I have JSN rated? I'm definitely playing McLaurin. I'm going to play McLaurin and JSN.
Okay. Sure.
Well, there's a second part of the question. Oh.
Don't think
it doesn't change my answer.
Yeah.
Doesn't change my answer. And if you want to drop the Chargers defense for Miller, go ahead. There's no defense worth holding on to. May, Richardson, Rudolph, Caleb.
I think it's May.
I have Richardson rated the highest, but that is scary.
Yeah.
I have Richardson rated the highest. If you want to not play Richardson because it's terrible, it's a little scary, then play May. May would be my second choice. It's Richardson or May is what you're picking between, and that really comes down to what your individual level of risk tolerance is.
Yeah. I agree.
It's the opposite thing. One is very risky and one is very not risky, but limited upside.
Almost zero upside.
No, none of that's going to happen. CEH just got there, and Jamal Williams is literally about to be retired from the NFL. Which is sad, but he's got a long career doing our job in podcasting ahead of him.
Yeah, because he is hysterical.
Yeah.
That's who we need to try and get him on the show.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Worth a shot.
Harris or Tracy? Yeah, that's interesting.
Tracy.
I don't want to play Harris.
Correct.
Harris been real sketchy. Yeah, Tracy by like 3 or 4 spots.
Like,
don't love it though. Not gonna lie.
Did I kill Harris? What did I do with Harris?
Yep.
Oh, there he is. 30.
Killed him dead.
Yep.
I have him at 31. And that's not saying a lot because I have Tracy at 27, so not great. But
I have Tracy at 22 because of the quarterback back to Drew Lock and them 10 targets coming his way.
Yeah.
Woo.
Sure. Adams, Shakir, we get 3. Adams, Shakir, Sutton, Myers, Reed. Well, Adams for sure.
Yeah, Sutton and Myers.
Yeah, we'll go with that. That sounds fine.
Yeah, Shakir's close, but it's Sutton and Myers as the ones I actually believe in.
Yeah, you can eliminate Reed. You're really picking from the first 4.
That means
you have better options than Reed.
The amount of times that we're hating on Reed, that means he's having a big week this week, fellas. Just keep that.
No, well, it's also because I have Reed on one of my playoff teams that lost last week, so he's going to put up a 50 in a game that no longer matters for the 5-6 game. That's 100% going to happen. I don't like Spencer Rattler. I don't think he's good, just to put a fine point on it, and I would never recommend him for fantasy. I have him at QB 29.
Yeah.
Spencer Rattler's not good.
We'll have to wait and see. I don't currently. He looks like a very mediocre professional quarterback.
Looks bad. Not the kind of thing I would want on my team. Denver or Bills?
Bills.
McMillan, Thielen, Kendre Miller.
McMillan.
I have Thielen higher. If you want to play, it's between McMillan and Thielen. I don't care which one you pick. I would probably play Thielen because it's been more consistent. But if you need upside, play McMillan. If you want the person who gives you the chance to get the highest ceiling, play McMillan.
Yeah, the only reason I'm worried about Thielen is Cardinals just paid Buddha.
Sure, not really worried about that as the reason.
I know,
but if you really want to max yourself out, like you're going to swing for the fences, Naveen, just play McMillan in that case. He has the highest ceiling by far. He also has the lowest floor, but
yeah,
Thielen
has the safest floor of all these players.
Yeah, Thielen has the safest floor. You know what you're getting, but McMillan has the highest upside. And Miller, Abdullah, which Reynolds?
Craig.
Oh, you. Gus Edwards, need 1. Miller, not close.
Agree. Yeah,
we'll be fine. This isn't even that bad. Come in
it's
here.
Nothing compared to Sundays.
Come in here during the buys or on Sundays, especially Sundays during the buys.
I don't know. This past week was pretty good.
Maddening.
All right, Brady.
No, Tracy.
I agree. Tracy.
Yeah, Tracy. Sure. There you go, Jason.
Absolutely. It's, again, the fact that DTR is so bad. The one thing he cannot mess up is handing the ball off.
You say that, but
I know he still will. Don't get me wrong, but Ford has also looked really good.
He's healthy. He got beat up at the beginning of the year, and I think he's played.
This is a decent matchup. I think it's the one thing that you can actually trust. DTR also targets the running back slightly more than Jameis did because it's not a downfield target. So whatever is close to the line of scrimmage. Another thing I brought up in our Discord. The yards per attempt for DTR is 3.
Yes.
So whatever is closest to the line of scrimmage is going to get the ball. And with Njoku potentially out, Ford gets a bump.
Yeah, and he's a pretty good pass catcher. So if you want to play Ford over JMO, knock yourself out. That's totally fine.
Yes,
he is.
Outside of it being great matchups the rest of the way, if Pollard's out, yes.
Yeah, I'd much rather have Spear than Miller.
Here for a good time, not a long time.
Exactly. He's here for a good time, not a long time. That is the Tajay Spears way. Shakir, McConkey, Ford, Madison, Jonathan Taylor, Kenneth Walker.
Really depends on need here.
Also depends on injury reports.
Does it?
Right now, I'd say McConkey. Which sucks, because that means you got to make the decision tomorrow.
Yeah. Also, if you do play McConkey, do not play him at the flex. Put him at your wide receiver position. And put...
Yes. Move someone else down.
Correct.
For me, this list is McConkey. I don't trust Kenneth Walker.
It goes McConkey, Ford, Shakir.
Yes. That's literally the same numbers. That's the same rankings I have. Yeah. It's McConkey, Ford, Shakir. McConkey, I think, is your best bet. Ford will be my second choice, and then Shakir if something terrible happens. You couldn't pay me to play Madison. Jonathan Taylor is just too wildly inconsistent, and I'm not even convinced Kenneth Walker is going to play. And if he does, how many carries is he going to get? I don't know at this point.
Yeah, so see playing, assuming it's PPR. If it is not, I would then go Ford, then McConkey.
So pick 2.
Okay.
JT, Ford, Shakir, McConkey, Madison.
We just did.
We already did this, right?
Ford, McConkey.
Ford, McConkey. Connor or Kyron Williams? A real question. I'm playing Connor.
I am also playing my top or my RB4 this week, Connor.
He's my RB5. He's been on quite the heater and playing against Carolina. Gotta love that. All right, Jared. Irving, Garendo, Mixon, London. Pick 2.
London. And Irving if he goes.
I'm going to play Irving if he goes, and London, and then I'm going to play Mixon in London if Irving's not playing. I don't trust Garendo. You know that.
I know. I think I'm going to go Garendo.
Don't trust it.
Just because it's, again, I'm going because of the matchup.
Don't trust it. Don't trust his foot. Don't trust the 49ers. Don't trust anything about it. I'd much rather deal with Mixon, where I know what I'm getting. It's either going to be a 30 or it's going to be a total dumpster fire. That's it. Those are my 2 binary choices. Whereas Garendo, he could literally go out there, take 2 carries, and be like, my foot hurts. And then they go set him down, and it's like a bunch of garbage, especially with the 49ers looking as bad as they have recently. All right, that's the questions. We did Jason's quarterback start of the week. For those of you who got here late, it was Matthew Stafford. I'm not rehashing that. And so there's some bad choices this week, Jason. Some very, very bad choices was my takeaway.
That's why I took the easy one.
Yeah, I saw you took the easy one because you're the way you are.
When I went to look, for some reason, he was a QB 16.
Yeah, he's only moved up one spot. He's at 15 currently.
That's way too low.
So he's come up there. So you're welcome.
Happy to help.
Yeah, the there's a lot of bad choices this week. This is not the week to be streaming quarterback. You're not going to like your choices. So the only comfort I can offer you is that everyone is in the exact same boat. And this is why we got so many Cooper Rush questions, which is why I was kind of expecting that, because he actually has a decent matchup. The problem is he himself isn't good. So that's the big fly in the ointment there. For me, and this is gonna really hurt, but there's a reason we keep bringing this up. It's Anthony Richardson in what is not a bad matchup. Yes, it's a division game, but he's gonna have to run the ball, and he's gonna throw, and it looks like he's gonna have his weapons. And I feel dirty saying this, but this is why we kept recommending Anthony Richardson all night in the background, is because your options for streaming quarterback this week are really bad. And Stafford's rostered in enough leagues to where you're probably. I agree, Stafford's the choice, because that doesn't make me want to vomit. But Anthony
Richardson have him as my QB8.
Yeah, but Anthony Richardson's going to be my choice, because it's just a bad enough matchup to where they should be able to move the ball, and he should be able to run, and he should be able to amass 2 touchdowns, 1 rushing, one throwing. And that should be enough to get you where you need to go. Just understand that that's the definition of playing with fire, and he could literally turn the ball over 4 times and get benched. So you have to understand that that's on the table here with this whole operation. If you can get Stafford, I would recommend getting Stafford. It's going to be a lot more consistent. So you're going to have got to keep that in mind. All right, pick 2: Williams, Flowers, Addison, Garendo, Pickens, Judy. Williams. I'm going to play Williams and Addison.
I agree. Williams and Addison.
All right. Who's your running back start of the week, Jason?
Nope. QB set of the week.
Oh yeah, sure. Who's your quarterback set of the week?
Jordan Love versus the Saints.
Okay, again, we already covered this, so go fast.
We touched on it. But it's this offense goes through Jacobs, and since week 12, Love has 2 games above 15 fantasy points and 2 games below 15 fantasy points. He is averaging 16.4 fantasy points in that time period, where, as we touched on earlier, Jacobs is scoring 20 plus fantasy points every week.
And for me, it's Sam Darnold. Darnold has been on a crazy roller coaster all season, and when he throws multiple passing touchdowns, you feel great about it. And then you have weeks like last week where he throws a pick and only 1 touchdown and can't really run the ball. And my fear about this game is that I think it has the ability to go full dumpster fire on you. The Vikings are way overrated, and the Seahawks are hurt. And I could see this game getting real ugly, especially if the Seahawks do what I think they're going to do and pin their ears back and blitz Sam Darnold on every play. That's what I would do. Because the Vikings, Sam Darnold under pressure, very different thing than when he has a clean pocket. When he has a clean pocket to work with, he's a borderline top 5 quarterback in fantasy. When he doesn't have a clean pocket to work with, he's not even in the top 12. And if I was the Seahawks, with the pass rush the Seahawks should be able to generate, I would blitz you on every play. It's literally how I would play this game. I would literally blitz you on every single play if we were playing Madden and make you stop it. And I don't think they can. And I think he's going to get slammed into the ground again and again and again. And I think this actually has the potential to be a big Aaron Jones week. That's how if I was the Vikings, that's how I would play it. I would give the ball to Jones and make Jones do the lion's share of the work. And I'm okay with Addison, because that's the deep threat, and they are going to have to huck it a little bit. And Jefferson's going to get his. But I'm nervous on Hockenson, and I'm nervous on some of the other stuff out there, and I want to avoid Sam Darnold. Yeah, I made it to most of them. Not all of them. But, it is what it is. I had one league where I lost because that's exactly how that was going to happen. Because I was winning like crazy after Thursday night, and then got blown out on Sunday, because that's always how that works. And that league is stupid, because that's the league where any game that I'm projected to win, I lose. And any game I'm projected to lose, I win. It was the most insane year. I set the scoring title, Jason. I moved the bar. I had a game where I scored 231 points. Set the all-time scoring record in that league. That league's been running since 2005. So, pretty good. But I lost because that team has no consistency. It's total nightmare, like crazy crap. Ever since I lost Rashi Rice, it's been that way. And made the playoffs, was 9-5, lost that game. Can't say I'm surprised. Walked into a buzzsaw on Sunday. And then in true fashion, won the playoff game I was supposed to lose by $1 billion. Won that game by a country mile because of Devontae Adams. And that's how that always works. So I blew that guy out. And then I had one league where I was on bye. So, and then I had one league where I didn't make the playoffs because it's a bull. Like, I got dumped out of the playoffs. And then I was really it. I only played like 4 or 5 leagues this year. So I made the playoffs in all of them except one. And I'm still live in 2 leagues. So that's the way the cookie crumbles sometimes. Jason doesn't want to talk about this.
Well, I only played in, surprisingly, only played in 2 leagues this year. So.
Oh, okay. And I play in one of them with you, so I know what happened to that team. So
Thanks.
that didn't go
that
well.
also happened to my other team. So
Yeah.
I have 0 health, and my luck is awesome. So
yeah, right. Given your options here, Daniel, I'm even given what I just said, I might still consider playing Darnold. It's Darnold or Nix. I can tell you that right now.
That's where we're at. Darnold or
yeah.
Nix.
What do you think, Jason? Where do you land on this? It's close. I have them right next to each other at the back end of QB1.
I am playing Darnold.
I'm probably going to play Darnold too, but literally that's because of the Thursday night. I do not like playing players on Thursday night if I can avoid it. So I'd probably just play Darnold and suck it up. Wouldn't be happy about it. Polo's here.
Woo, Polo.
Polo, I have a rule at work that I tell people, which is you can say whatever you want, but never write anything down that you wouldn't want read back to you in a court of law. Okay? Just food advice for me to you. As a long time fan, we're like I'm just gonna give you that little piece of advice. Don't write things down like that. But I'm not saying you're wrong, by the way.
Especially Cooper. The fact that he didn't get involved at all or a single target in that game blows my mind.
Yeah,
that's
what you get. That's what you get for trusting the people over 30 to play football. All right, who's your running back start of the week?
Ty Johnson did fine. What are you talking about?
Oh, it's Ty Johnson. Is Ty Johnson actually over 30?
I think so.
Ty Johnson can't be that old.
Really? I'm wrong. He's 27?
Yeah, that makes more sense. So Ty Johnson, there's no way Ty Johnson's that old.
I feel like that dude's been around forever.
Yeah, but there's lots of guys like that.
Okay, fine. Boo.
I'm playing Bills.
Yeah, it's Bills.
And then go ahead, Jason. Who's your running back start of the week?
Travis Etienne versus the Raiders. It's the first. I know. I'm doing it. But Robinson went over 100 rushing yards.
Because I'm going to throw up.
White was just short of going for 100 yards. That was a game that Irvin got hurt, and in that game, White scored 2 touchdowns and had over 100 all-purpose yards. And with Etienne getting that role, the safety blanket, should see the targets, and they've kind of gotten away from using Bigsby. He was down to, I think, a 30% target or snap share last week. So
yeah,
being beat up, I think Etienne's a good matchup against the Raiders without a Max Crosby.
The answer is Tajay Spears. Tajay Spears is the start of the week. Tony Pollard's probably not playing in this game. That doesn't matter. And they need Tony Pollard healthy for next year. And they still have Tajay Spears rated outside the top 32. So we will easily just take Tajay Spears because you saw what he did last week when Pollard was out, and you saw what he did last year when he had more than half the job. Even if Tony Pollard plays this game, I could make the argument for starting Tajay Spears as a desperation flex. Tajay Spears, here for a good time, not a long time. Enjoy it while you can. Man has no knees. Hasn't mattered too much yet, although this year it has started to crop up. He's been pretty beat up this year. But he's healthy now. And I think there's a real chance he's starting for the Titans in a great matchup against the Colts, and he's going to get you 20. Tajay Spears. That's the answer. Get your Kendre Miller off my lawn. Not you, just the internet. All right, who's your sit of the week?
We've touched on it a lot. Joe Mixon versus the Chiefs. Real scared on that one. Chiefs have been good against the run, and if we saw last week, Mixon doesn't score, you're in trouble.
Yeah, I'd argue with that if I could. He still got you 10 in PPR.
He did.
I will acknowledge
that because he got 2 catches. Right.
I will acknowledge that's a bad matchup. Okay, that's interesting. That is very, very interesting.
I know. I went pretty high on that one to go for it, but it makes me nervous, man.
No, I understand it. For me, it's Jonathan Taylor. We've talked about this all night.
Yeah.
Jonathan Taylor is getting crippled by his own team. And he had a 10 last week too. But if you saw how he did it, you don't want it. Like, he had a 17 the week before. And that's because he scored a receiving touchdown. Good luck counting on that, like, every week. And then before that, 3, 7, 9. Nope. No likey. Me no likey for my playoffs. Neil no likey. Neil willing to get Tajay Spears involved at this point. Neil willing to play Tajay Spears over Jonathan Taylor. Neil no trust. Neil no trust the Colts. Neil no trust Jonathan Taylor. Neil no trust Anthony Richardson. Neil no trust Jim Irsay. Neil no trust anything that plays in that uniform with a horseshoe. We will try again next year.
Anything?
I don't really want Pittman right now with his back.
Okay.
Pittman is suffering from from 3 problems. His back is broken, his finger is broken, and Anthony Richardson is his quarterback. I need 2 of those things to not happen. Josh Downs has been broken for the last several weeks because he's just a little guy. He's really good, but you're going to have these problems with Josh Downs. He's just a little guy. And when they finally catch him and throw him into the ground, well, that's going to hurt.
He's Alec Pierce.
Yeah. And then Alec Pierce is in the concussion protocol because he's Alec Pierce. And it's the Alec Pierce protocol starting next year is what I'm going to start calling it. That's the Cedric Tillman protocol as well.
There's a lot this year. Austin Eckler.
Baltimore, Cincinnati, Houston. That's a good one. I don't know. Let's look.
Bengals are my number 1 defense this week.
I do have the Bengals pretty high. It's Bengals. It's definitely Bengals.
Ravens are at 6, just beyond the Bills.
Knicks, Murray, Richardson. Play Murray against Carolina. Hate it. That's what I'm doing.
Okay, it's Knicks, Murray, Richardson.
I can't pass that Carolina matchup.
That's where it's at.
I have to do it. Don't love it, but that's what it be. All right, so we did running back.
I hope he runs that ball.
Yeah, we did RB and QB. So we are on to the easiest decision Jason will make all night because he's already talked about it ad nauseum. Go ahead. Who's your wide receiver start of the week?
Jalen McMillan versus the Cowboys.
Shocking. Shocking.
Finally, they've moved him to the outside. He's able to go in and out. Stepped in the wide receiver 2 role. Running almost the same amount of snaps or playing the same amount of snaps and running almost the same amount of routes as Evans the past 2 weeks. Doesn't seem like that's going away. Now Otten's beat up. Past 2 weeks, he's averaging 20.2 fantasy points. I also talked about it on Monday. That's part of the reason he's my pick this week. And the fact that he's not in the top 36 is kind of surprising to me.
Yeah, there is some of that going on. There is definitely
There's a lot of iffy stuff there at that 36 range that I'm like,
no, it's all bad. You get down this low, it's all ugly. It's all super ugly down here. No, it's not a joke. For me, it's DeAndre Hopkins. Someone's got to catch the damn ball.
Yeah.
It's literally where we are. It's Nuke, and I know they're like, oh, Hollywood's coming back, and I'm like, you're going to have to work harder than that to scare me. Hopkins is a guaranteed 10 is the reason why I bring it up. It's very consistent. He's 10 points in PPR. If he falls into the end zone, you get 16. And you know what? I'm feeling lucky. It has more to do with the fact that when you get down this far, there are no good choices, which is why I could see how you've arrived at McMillan, because that's the easy choice down here because he's actually involved. I could try to interest you in Deebo Samuel, but what?
Where is he now? Because when I looked, he was at 48.
He's at 43.
Okay, so he's jumped. And that's
he's moved up 5 spots since this morning. But he's still viable. I mean, you're still right. But for me, it's Nuke Bomb. Yeah. Very consistent. 10 points. If I need something consistent as a flex, 10. Oh, welcome to the party. Podson's in. All right.
Woo!
That's what I like to see. That's what I like to see.
I put up 2 movie reviews today, too.
Yep. I saw that. Yeah, check out Jason's crazy movie reviews. Levi is smoking mayonnaise, Podson. It's always mayonnaise. I don't know how he smokes it, but he does. The answer is when you're referring to Will Levis, it's always mayonnaise.
Mayonnaise,
which is gross.
Forgot. Big news tomorrow. I'm going to probably talk about it on the Thursday night show. Taco Bell is putting out chicken nuggets.
I didn't hear about this.
So
I'm unaware of this as a concept.
I know nobody else cares, but they have the nacho fries right now, and they're going to have chicken nuggets starting tomorrow. I am going to be trying them, and I might have them twice depending on how hungry I am.
So you're just going to do this on camera?
I might.
Or are we just doing the review on camera? I mean, I'm not going to stop you.
We'll see how they go in the first round, and if it's good,
I'm not stopping you if you want to do this.
You know, I need that Taco Bell endorsement. The Yum Brands endorsement would be ideal situation for us.
You know, what is that stupid saying? Shoot for the star or shoot for the moon, and even if you miss, you land in a sea of stars or something like that. That's Jason's general philosophy. I'd be happy with like the YouTube sponsors like BetterHelp or something, and Jason's over here like, no, I need Yum Brands.
I want Yum Brands because that would just make my life so much easier.
Careful with your hands when you get all excited.
No, but that and PepsiCo, those are like the 2 things that if I was going to be set up.
Well, I know what you want. You don't even want money. You want like one of those like gift cards. It's like unlimited, like an unlimited gift card that you can just take to various things and just swipe. I think they did that at one point. They gave somebody a Taco Bell card where they could just go to any Taco Bell and present that card, and they would just give them free stuff, like free Taco Bell. I think that's really what he wants, folks.
That'd be the most
literally
amazing
what
thing.
He wants. He'd be dead at 60, so don't get too attached to Jason because he would only eat Taco Bell. His insides would.
There are a lot of healthy options at Taco Bell. Thank you very much.
I have never seen them.
That's because you have to get on the app. They've now added black beans, which I really appreciate. They have these awesome bowls that are pretty good.
Black beans are theoretically healthy, depending on what is with the black beans. Like,
well, usually they have.
If you cover them in MSG, then it's not really healthy. Like, but I'm not a doctor. No, I'm not your doctor. I'm just a guy you work with. You do what you want. Like, tell other people my actual job. I'm like, I'm not your doctor. You do what you want.
He told me to eat more beans, so I'm completely fine doing that.
Confident that this isn't what he meant, but I'm not your doctor and I wasn't there. Very confident this isn't what your doctor meant, but you find that loophole and you just climb right in it.
Yeah, legumes are awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I that's backed up by medical science. Okay, who's your wide receiver sit of the week over there, Mr.
Shouldn't be any surprise, because we
do this every week.
Yeah, Marvin Harrison Jr. I don't care who he's playing at this point. It is a Panthers, but man, I don't want to be on the roller coaster ride, and trusting it terrifies me. The only player that I see seeing over 10 targets is going to be Trey McBride, and Connor is the other player that I see getting over 10 fantasy points.
All right.
So you're seeing if it's targets, McBride. If it is points, Connor. That's it.
That you know of. Land is really cheap in Idaho. I know that.
That's a lot of land, though.
That's a lot of land. That's a lot of land. And I know you know this individual, so there you go.
Yes, it is. You don't.
No.
You are sick.
I will say this is the This is the least.
You got everybody sick at your house.
This is the least outrageous. It was one of the, like, you would think. This is. I just want to. This is what I have to work with. This is what I work with every Wednesday. Is this individual? And
you're welcome.
This is like, of all the insane things I've heard him say, you notice how I didn't even flinch? Because I'm like, yeah, that sounds like something he would say. So, like, I interact with this individual every week, all the time. Like, I know who I'm working with. Like, at this point, I just rolls. That's not even the most outrageous thing he said today, as far as I'm concerned. Like, I know who I'm working with, bro.
Yeah. You need to get on the Taco Bell app and get you a Cantina chicken bowl. It's awesome.
There's no universe where I will ever do that. That's never going to happen. I don't eat Taco Bell, Jason. It's disgusting.
Well, you don't. But it has salad. It has cabbage. It has avocado. It has
Jason,
tomato, black beans,
let me explain
chicken.
Here real quick, buddy. If I was going to go do something like that, I would just go to Chipotle.
But it's only $6. No, $8.
Sorry. For the $3 more, I'm just going to go to Chipotle. Like,
you get the avocado, so at that point you're at like $6 more.
I don't really eat avocados, so
okay.
I know I look like this, and I live in Colorado, so that might be shocking to people, but I don't really eat avocados. So I will if it comes with it, but I'm not paying extra for it. And the other part of it is, I would even still rather just go to my local Mexican spots than go to either of those two places.
That's fair.
Like, I don't eat
I just
Taco
like it because, again, the fact that I'm able to order on the app, walk in, grab it, and go back, and it only takes me like 10 minutes.
I'm not debating what's convenient with you.
Yeah.
Like, I understand what convenience is. I also understand that you live in Wichita, and the options are different from living in the Denver Tech Center versus Wichita, Kansas. Like, I've been to both places. I'm familiar loosely. We were only in Wichita for a couple hours because we stopped to refuel. But, like, I'm aware of the general idea of, like, the options aren't great in Wichita yet. They're working on it, I'm sure. So, yeah, I might be, if I lived in Wichita, I might be more inclined to eat at Taco Bell. But I will tell you right now, Jason, every time I eat at Taco Bell, it upsets my stomach. Every single time I eat at Taco Bell, it upsets my stomach. So I just don't go there. Every time. I have to be wasted to eat at a Taco Bell. Wasted. Like, just completely, like, knee walking shit faced. Forgive my language. But, like, I'd have to be completely obliterated for that to even come up with it, to even register as an idea. It's not food. It's not food. It has the elements of food in it, but it itself is not food. And I will die on this hill. You will never convince me that going to Taco Bell is a good idea. Particularly where I live, where there's a million other options and all of them are better. And to me, the extra $3 is not worth the literal stomach ache. So yeah, that's not happening. We're not doing that. Not happening. Points, sacks.
Because this is not yards don't matter.
Yeah, it's everything but yards, basically. It's literally every other metric but yards.
Yeah, it's
but he gets special teams TDs only, though. I'd probably just still play the Falcons, as gross as it makes me feel.
Yep.
Okay. And then my wide receiver sit of the week is, we've covered this, DJ Moore. DJ Moore looks like he's done playing football this year, and maybe next year we can reinvest in DJ Moore. But there's no universe where, given the level of effort that I'm seeing come out of that man, that I could ever justify playing him in my fantasy playoffs. We will find something else to do. You got to go pretty far down the list before you find something that I want to do. You're out, almost certainly. Yeah, playoffs week 15, 16, and 17 in normal leagues. You're probably done.
Occasionally 18.
Occasionally people played a week 18. Sometimes people play 2-week playoffs, and then the regular season ends like week 11, and they'll play double elimination. But most leagues, your normal leagues that have normal rules, playoffs goes starting in week 15, if you're 5-9, you more than likely didn't make the playoffs. You almost certainly didn't make the playoffs, and you probably don't have a matchup at this point unless they do a losers bracket. But that would have started last week. So if you didn't set a lineup, you probably got eliminated in that too. So I'd say you're more than likely done. You're just done. That's the most likely outcome for you right now. Aubrey or Tucker, Jason?
I still think it's Aubrey.
I have Aubrey as the number 1 kicker this week because it's Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay gives up lots and lots of kicks because their defense is bad.
Yep.
We didn't talk about Cowboys that I would want to be. That means there's a losers bracket is what's going on. And they usually use that to determine seeding for next year. So set a lineup.
Yeah.
That's really all.
You definitely want to win. So you're also not the worst player.
Yeah, that also matters. You don't want to come in last. Yeah. Yeah, bro. I lived in Bolingbrook, Illinois for 20 years. I grew up there. So I've watched the Bears my whole life. And I can tell you I don't watch the Bears very much anymore because it is a factory of sadness. And until they sell the team, nothing's going to change. The McCaskies have proven to you who they are. They can't run that team in an effective manner. And they just, until that team is sold, I don't have any hope. My head coach choice doesn't matter because it won't be what they do. They'll do something stupid. It's what they always do. Who's the best defensive coach that you've never heard of is the answer to what it will be.
I was like, Mike Vrabel?
No, that's too well known.
Okay, my bad.
Yeah, it's got to be something way more off the radar. It's got to be something like
who coaches, coming after Jesse Minter?
Who coaches Northwestern currently? Like something like that. I will say that they're saying the word on the street is it's Braun. Mike Vrabel.
Oh.
The word on the street is that it's Mike Vrabel, and I will say what I think should happen here, Scott, isn't relevant. Because if it was up to me, we would be going out looking at like college coaches who have a track record of success. Like, can I get Dabo? Like, I want somebody, I don't know that I want Dabo, but I'm just saying something like yeah, maybe I could. But the whole thing is this. It's all about what they want. And they've shown you who they want. And who they want is a Caucasian man that has some level of experience, particularly on the defensive side of the ball. That is how the McCaskies hire. They have shown you this again and again and again and again. Because whenever they go for an offensive-minded coach, a.k.a. like Mark Trestman, it flames out immediately, and they have to move on from it. So the word on the street is the leading candidate is Mike Vrabel. It actually is Mike Vrabel. Like, it's not a joke. Like, and I could see that because Mike Vrabel looks like Chicago, as in he's got the gut. He's got the meathead personality, so people will love it. And he has a track record of NFL coaching. I almost said track record of success, and that's not really true. But he has a track record of being a head coach in the NFL and is a defensive-minded person. Whereas what I would be hiring on is this. We would interview a ton of people, and I would have one question. What's your plan for developing Caleb Williams? And whoever interviews with the best plan for that is who I would hire. And there would be, what I mean by best answer is this. Well, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to spend every dollar we have rebuilding the offensive line. Whether it's money or trades or drafting, you have to fix the offensive line for this team to move forward. You have literally had 2 rookie quarterbacks get killed by this offensive line. You cannot continue with this offensive line. You have to figure out something else. It cannot be this. And that's how I would literally be handling these interviews. I want to talk to offensive-minded head coaches that have a track record of developing quarterbacks into something. And that's what I would do. And that's literally how I would proceed with this entire operation. For example, I would go hire the guy who's the offense. I would interview the guy. What's his name? Ben something. The OC for the Lions.
Johnson?
Ben Johnson. I'd interview Ben Johnson. He would be near the top of my list as somebody to talk to. And I could understand why they like Mike Vrabel I don't want Mike Vrabel, but I could understand why they would. And then the other one would be Joe Brady. Joe Brady would get interviewed.
Liam Cohen?
Liam Cohen would get interviewed. Yep. You got to interview Liam Cohen based on just what I just outlined. You know what I mean? And then maybe if I had time, we would interview Flores. But that's kind of my thing. But I would interview more people than that. We would be interviewing for months. I would take 1 million interviews. We'd be interviewing people that people wouldn't be obvious. You know what I mean? But I'll bet you dollars to donuts, Scott, that it's going to be Mike Vrabel. You search your feelings, Scott. You know it to be true. They're going to hire Mike Vrabel. And I'm going to die inside when they do. Because Mike Vrabel will come in and he will say all the right things to them. And he's the right shade on the Eddie Bauer color wheel for what the Bears typically look for. Sorry, but it's true. And he's going to talk a big game about defense and hard-nosed football. And they're going to eat that shit up with a spoon, forgive my language, because that's what they do. That's what they do. The Bears have a type, and it's large pink people with big guts. Virginia loves it. It's her favorite. It's her favorite thing. I don't want to talk about this anymore because it's making me sad.
I was like,
in my vampire, someone dropped Pacheco and Etienne. Would you rather have Spears or either of them? I would rather have Spears than any of that. Well, stop inviting Jason over. He keeps destroying your plumbing with Taco Bell.
Hey, I'm the one who tried to help there with the plumbing last time.
Yeah, after breaking it.
Not quite. No. Okay.
Chris Shula might be interesting.
Kirby Smart.
Know about that.
If you're on college.
Yeah. If you're into that, it's gonna be Vrabel. I don't like this conversation. It makes me sad. And Jason, there's no wheel of tight ends this week because we didn't have time. So we're not doing the wheel. We're just gonna do tight ends, and we're gonna get out of here because it's about that time, folks.
I'll look then.
Yeah, pick a tight end.
Pick
2 technically.
ECR. That's what I'm looking for. Like, I don't know what the ECR for them are.
I'll go while he's looking. This week I'm picking Jake Ferguson to get back to the well because it's Tampa Bay. And I don't think Cooper Rush is good. I think he can prop up Jake Ferguson for a week against the terrible, terrible, terrible Tampa Bay secondary with their terrible corners and safeties and linebackers. So 1 week only, Jake Ferguson returns to the starting lineup if I'm looking to stream somebody.
Chigakonkwo.
Oh, going deep.
I am.
A good matchup.
Also, the quarterback loves him.
Yes, there is that. There is that.
He's seen a lot of targets with him.
I don't really need a lot of analysis on these. It's pretty cut and dry this week. It's pretty ugly out there.
Well, the other one is Stone Smart if you're looking for another potential.
Yeah, if I was going deep, Stone Smart would be interesting. I would prefer Brenton Strange over any of that. But
surprisingly, top 12.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
And then of the things I'm sitting, we again touched on.
Good luck with that, Pod. Good luck with that.
I like it.
I don't. I'm not doing that in the playoffs. Maybe next year.
Yeah. I'm definitely watching it. I'm not going to rank
I'm paying attention, but I ain't playing it in my playoffs.
Yeah. The thing I'm sitting, Tucker Kraft.
Damn. I should have just gone.
Yes, you should have.
I should have just gone.
No, yours is up there too. Say it. Current tight end 5 for the week.
Oh yeah, we already covered this. It's Hockenson.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm a little nervous about Hockenson in that game because I don't know how that game's going to go.
Correct.
That game has full dumpster fire potential, like full on nasty dumpster fire level shit. I'm bad today.
I know.
It's been a long day. My filter is in tatters on the floor because I've been dealing with a lot of very annoying meetings and I've had to self-censor all day, and the filter can only handle so much.
I literally I ripped off a finger because there's times when I'm trying to stay quiet, and so
yeah, I'm trying to not say anything to people when I want to just like shake them.
Yeah,
I want to like just shake some sense into you, but I can't because I'll go to jail.
I went real low on this finger and it hurt so.
No, I would play. I would
That's
play
for sure.
I would play Hawkinson over Pitts for sure. I'll tell you that right now.
Hawkinson over
It's
Pitts.
close between Freiermuth and Hawkinson. It's very close. I have them one spot apart.
And it also is very dependent on Pickens not playing.
Yes. So I can tell you right now, I have Hawkinson at 9 and Freiermuth at 10.
Yeah.
So they're right there. If I find out, we got to wait for the Pickens thing, and then we'll lock that in. So, Scott, you're not crazy. Freiermuth has very quietly been having a nice little stretch here. 3 double-digit games in a row, and it's almost 4 if you count the 9.9.
Yeah, I have
Russell
them
has
split. I have them
started
at 10
going
and
down.
11.
Yeah, they're right there, though. Like, they're right next to each other.
But
So-
Freiermuth would definitely drop if Pickens plays.
If Pickens
outside
plays,
of
then this is
Buffalo.
easy. Just play Hawkinson and just deal with it. But if Pickens isn't playing, I would consider
Somebody's gotta
that.
get the targets.
I would very much consider it. All right.
McLaughlin.
We did sit. Last question from John. Jake Bates or Chase McLaughlin? We're going to end on a kicker question here, folks. If you have any last minute questions, get them in now or forever hold your peace, because I'm signing off as soon as we answer John's question here.
Yeah, it's still McLaughlin for me. Granted,
I have McLaughlin at 2.
Yep.
I have McLaughlin at 2.
I
All
agree.
right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it. I gave you fair warning. Jason will be back with you tomorrow to do something that is near and dear to his heart, which is
help say
I gotta hang on. I got a better way to end it. What's your favorite Christmas movie, real quick, Jason, on the way out?
4 Christmases.
The Nightmare Before Christmas.
I love it.
It's my favorite movie. I love that movie. It's like the only Disney movie I like. Like, I love that movie. It's great. It's got lots of good stuff. There's lots of good stuff in there. It works on Halloween and it works on Christmas. It does double duty. It's fantastic. It's a great movie. It's no notes on that movie. Excellent. I'd say make more, but they tried. It wasn't good. That movie, that movie is great.
Yeah, one of a kind for sure.
It's an all timer. It's that movie holds up too. Like, it's old, but it doesn't really look that old. You know what I mean? It's because of the way they shot it. Anyway, I could go on about this topic for way too long. Jason will be back tomorrow to do something near and dear to his heart, which is helping you set lineups for the Chargers-Bronco game. Be sure to be mean to him if you are a Broncos fan. Get real personal. If you tune in, you might also get to see Jason's review of the new Taco Bell chicken nuggets that I just found out about literally right now. Didn't know about that. Can't say I'm surprised that they would actually be doing that.
It's going to be so good.
I don't know about that, but you will tell us. I know this. You will tell us. Jason will show up with his nuggets, his chicken nuggies, and his Baja Blast, and he will absolutely give you his review. So tomorrow I will be rooting for Jason's team to lose and my team to win, and he will be rooting for his team to lose or his team to win and my team to lose. Because weirdly, both of these teams are in the borderline of making the playoffs, which if you would have told me that in the preseason, I would have laughed in your face. I would have laughed in your stupid face about all of that. So tune in tomorrow for that. Get your lineup questions in, because there are many lineup questions pertaining to that game. That game matters. Very annoying. I wish they wouldn't have flexed that game to Thursday night, because that game really should be being played on Sunday because of the playoff implications. But whatever, we don't make the schedule. So tune in to get your questions answered, and also to hear Jason's review of the new Taco Bell nuggies, which I can't imagine will be good, but Jason, I'm sure, will contradict that. Then tune in on Friday for Mason and Vishal for Locked In. We only got a couple more of those, although I will say they do go all the way through the playoffs and through the Super Bowl. The Super Bowl is like their biggest show. So stay tuned for that. Always some good stuff there. Mason and Vishal have some very interesting takes, and they will help you win some money. So that's always good. And then we will be back on Sunday to help you get your lineup set for the semifinals. Only 2 shows left of the final countdown, and we will let you know how that goes. Next week, the schedule is going to be weird. I don't exactly know how it's going to work yet. Stay tuned. We will let you know. We don't know. I would tell you if I did, but Jason and I literally have to go have a conversation about that right now. So until tomorrow, thank you for your attendance and your audience participation, and we will see you tomorrow. But until then, Keep up the nonsense.